How are you doing, man, Navio? Thank you very much for coming through.
Of course.
Big ride, huh?
Me, nah, warming up.
Right, man, you have so many fans out there. I don't know if you know this. You have a couple of folks who like hip hop.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think your journey has been like? Are you one of those rappers who say, I've had quite a smoother, faster journey? And what do you make of your latest stop now?
Yeah, I think my journey's been, progressive. I've kind of changed genres and the way I do music so many times. To start off as a battle MC, to continue that through school when I'm in SA, to be in the streets like that, and then to come through and start doing commercial music back in East Africa. It's quite a change. I think we've, me and my team have handled it the right way. So we've definitely come up the rough way, but it's nice that we're finally here and we can say we're on top.
There's a time when a couple of folks were saying, hip hop wasn't the biggest thing in Uganda.
Yeah.
You're right in the middle of that. Do you think the Ugandan public is starting to warm up to it now?
Definitely. I mean, just as far as online, for example, I was number 8 in terms of like every single Ugandan person in terms of the following online, and to have a hip hopper even in the top 30, top 40, would have never been possible a few years ago. So the fact that I'm number 8 is one of those amazing things. The fact that, I was one of the first people to be nominated for international awards, as a hip hop artist at African, and continental awards is also something amazing. So I think hip hop is definitely building. And when you see what we do on stage, you need to be in the crowd and see what we do as well on stage, whether it's me, Gravity, Munji. We're rocking crowds just as much as any of the top tier Afro pop artists. So hip hop is definitely here to stay.
All right, man, let's talk about your ride now.
Yes.
For starters, I said thank you for coming to the show. We do appreciate one of the biggest rappers in the region, continent as well. What do you like about this car? For how long have you had it, and specifically, why did you get this one?
Yeah, I've had the car for a couple years. I decided to get this because it's a good balance of corporate and still sleek. Yeah, for us, we found our music was sort of transferring. Not only were we upcoming artists anymore. I had the VX with the huge wheels. I've had the L Grand, which was very sleek, but I felt I needed a car that combined the two. Something still sleek, but I could still pull out, and push with the big boys. So yeah, I decided to opt for this 2009, ML. And it's one of those cars that I think was perfect for me. Speed is great, ABS is on point. Yeah. If you're going up to, when you're in your areas and it's -3 degrees, you can warm your seat. The system is great in terms of music. I can't really complain about the car, surprisingly. Yeah.
All right, every time we host a celebrity on Revved, specifically celebrity rides, we also try and put them in a corner and ask them what kind of advice they would give folks out there. If you're going to buy a car, what should you look out for? I mean, so many guys want to buy cars like this, probably cheaper cars, more expensive cars. What would you advise someone when you're going to buy a car? What, for example, are Navio's top 3 tips? What someone should look out for to get a car?
I think, first of all, make sure that it's affordable for you. There are a lot of people who make $10 million and want to spend the $10 million on the car. That's not practical.
Is that what you're making, though?
hey, for the next show. Next show.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make $10 million, then you want to spend $10 million on a car. That's just not practical. Yeah. You need to be able to maintain whatever you own. So, do something that's affordable for you, something that speaks to you. For me, I like the security. I like the fact that it's got a bit of tint on it. I can still use it from the corporate side, to the street, long distances, short distances. So I like to get something that's dynamic. I'd always advise someone to get a car that's versatile. And then the third piece of advice was to be, get something that you feel you're comfortable actually inside physically. If you can sit inside your car, feel good, enjoy the space in there for whatever you need to get done. I'd say that's one of the most important things. How you feel when you grab the wheel is really important, because you don't want to fall asleep at the wheel. You don't want to crash the car over something and risk people's lives. So get something that you feel physically is comfortable to drive.
All right, my final question to Navio now is, he's a rapper, and we know rappers for swag,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't come with a cape and everything.
Yeah.
Wait, when you're getting this car, did you have a feeling that, what, I'm the best rapper in the country, I'm getting the headlines on the continent, and get something that when I'm on Kampala Road, everyone's like, what?
To say the truth, that would never be my personal way that I'd get a car, but I do have a team around me. Yeah. So when I just noticed with every car that I was suggesting we should get, my manager was like, not flashy enough. not flashy enough. So, you know, we had to kind of come to a compromise and a balance between a practical car, which is what I will always get, between what the brand also talks about. Because I'm not representing just myself, I'm representing a country, you know. So the people are like, hey, listen, we put you in a position, we give you our money, we buy 20,000 records when you come out. You know, they're like, at least show us what our blood, sweat and tears is buying into, you know. So I build my brand up because my fans deserve that. And that's the only reason I'd get, you know, something like this, as opposed to just a nice boda bike to be cruising around in peacefully, you know.
I know, but thank you very much for coming on board, man. Really appreciate it.
Most definitely.
There you go.